Tonight on News 5 Live, a clean sweep for Griega Line, James Bus and the Belize Bus Association in a claim brought against the Ministry of Transport and Floralia. The body of Coast Guard sailor Kiman Garcia is returned to Belize City amid the grief of his sudden loss on Wednesday. Punta Gorda residents respond to the chief engineer regarding the Joe Taylor Bridge at the entrance of town. And in tonight's episode of Belize on Real, News 5 visits the Community Baboon Sanctuary in Bermudan Landing. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Let's all be safe during the rainy season. Belize Electricity Limited reminds you that heavy rains can cause flooding in your neighborhood and on roads. Avoid driving or walking in flooded areas, which can have hidden dangers such as debris and fallen power lines. Belize Electricity Limited cares about your safety. Please stay safe.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, November 9th. I am Sabrina Daly. The road service permits issued to Floralia in 2021 and 2022 for runs to Punta Gorda and Independence have been quashed. Earlier today, the High Court rendered a decision in favor of the proprietors of Griega Line and James Bus in a claim brought against the Ministry of Transport, including the minister, his CEO and Transport Board, the Chief Transport Officer, and the chairperson of the Transport Board. In March 2022, an application for judicial review was filed in respect of the road service permits granted to Floralia Bus Line. The purpose of the judicial review was to declare illegal and void the road service permit that was issued to the public transportation company. Earlier today, Justice Genevieve Jabot ruled against the Ministry of Transport and others, including Floralia, in a 23-page decision. The High Court declared that the defendants acted unlawfully and ultra vires when they awarded Floralia the runs in question. The cancellation of Floralia's road service permits are set to come into force on December 10th. This evening, News 5 spoke with Senior Counsel Dean Barrow, the attorney for Griega Line and James Bus Line.
Basically, the Transport Board improperly did two things. It gave Floralia runs from Punta Gorda to Belize City and back, and specified times that were altogether too close to the times that James Bus Line, who's been serving that southernmost district for years and years, too close to the times that they had. Also, though, it gave Floralia runs between Dangriga, between Stan Creek and Belize City, without considering the fact that Bryant Williams had been operating those runs for some years, although in the name of his deceased uncle. His uncle, as I remember, was Calvert Williams, and for some time Calvert had been having some financial difficulties, so Bryant took over. Calvert died. Bryant continued to operate the business as though it was his business, even though there had not been any sort of formal name change in the registry. The Transport Board, in giving those runs to Floralia, decided, no, Calvert is dead, so we have no obligation to you, Bryant, even though you have in fact been acting in his shoes, and it's been made clear to us that you own the buses, all that sort of things. In the case of certainly the James Bus Line people, damages have been ordered in their favor. The damages are to be assessed because giving Floralia the runs so close to the James runs interfered with James's business, with their clientele, with their profits. And likewise for Williams in terms of the Dangriga runs. At least with James, their runs continued, except there had been the encroachments. With Williams, he got no runs at all. And so again, he is able to have damages in his favor assessed by the court. The court made an order, damages are awarded, the actual quantum will be fixed according to the rules of court. So that is going to be a second installment, if you will.
According to Senior Counsel Barrow, Floralia was given preferential treatment by the Ministry of Transport when it was awarded the road service permits for the respective runs to PG and Independence. With the licenses being cancelled, new applications will have to be submitted by bus companies that are interested in taking up the runs. Barrow says it was a complete legal victory.
Well, it was a clean sweep for us. We got every order for which we prayed, with the result that the permits to Floralia have been quashed. The Transport Board must go back and give a proper and fair consideration to all applications. We were saying that the decision in favor of Floralia was done without proper notice, violating the statutory procedure, but also without giving others who were interested a chance. The decision means that in going back to do a proper and fair consideration now, the Transport Board will have to start all over. Notices have to be published, giving some alerting the bus owners and members of the general public to when meetings will be held. New applications will have to be filed by Floralia and others. And so that will take some time. The judge also awarded damages to our clients for the losses they have suffered in consequence of Floralia in the case of James Bus Line taking away their business or certainly interfering with their business. What the court did do, interestingly enough and sensibly enough, was to say, listen, clearly Floralia is now without any legal permission to run. I will suspend the effect of the judgment, which is to quash their permits until December, so as not to inconvenience the public. Clearly, if the decision took effect immediately, Floralia would have to stop running, and nobody could get a permit to fill the Floralia runs anytime soon because of the process that requires 3 publications of an application in the Gazette. So she did that, and I repeat that that was very, very sensible of the judge.
On Wednesday, we brought you the terrible news of the loss of a Coast Guard seaman who was returning to base after completing 3 weeks of operational duties offshore Ambergris Caye. The sailor Kiman Garcia was one of 2 Coast Guard members who fell into the sea when the boat captain lost control of the vessel after it hit an object in the water. While the other sailor was lucky to have escaped unscathed, Garcia lost his life. He was supposed to be in his home village of Doublehead Cabbage today. Instead, they are planning his burial. News 5's Marian Ali has the story.
The flags symbolically being flown at half-mast at the Belize Coast Guard headquarters indicates the loss of one of its own, as arrangements are being made to lay 24-year-old Kiman Garcia to rest. This morning, the body of the seaman arrived via ambulance at the KHMH morgue, while one of his fellow sailors salutes his fallen comrade. On hand to receive the body was the bereaved family. An understandably grief-stricken mother, Judith Flores, wails as she walks away from seeing her son's body. He came from a family of law enforcers from the Belize River Valley, where they reside. Flores told News 5 that she found out about her son's death while on the bus heading home from work. The Coast Guard had apparently been trying to reach her by phone, but she had her device away from her.
The bus was so packed, so I left my bag on the front of the bus. Because it's so packed, you can't get nothing. So I heard the people talking and thing, and it's like, then it's shh. So my co-worker was sitting near to me, and she said, Jude, she said, look like that, you know, your family, something wrong with your family. So I tell her, get my bag for me. So I get the bag. As soon as I get the bag, I saw the Coast Guard text. While reading the text, my sister called me and gave me the message that my son died in a boat accident.
A few hours later, Coast Guard Commandant Rear Admiral Elton Bennett arrived at Garcia's home to deliver the bad news in person. Flores says her son wanted to be like the rest of his relatives in the armed forces, and he made that decision at the age of 18. His mom says it's what the job meant to them that had influence on him from very young.
When he was young, them boy already joined the force, so then he don't really want to do it for his family, so he just say, well, that's my dream, so I just going for it.
And you supported him all the way?
All the way, because he was like the man of the house.
Garcia was such a dedicated seaman that his mom barely got to spend holidays with him, at least at Christmas time.
He was all for his job. He never said, Meka, no go to work today. He always did that for him work. He always go, he never miss work. Even Christmas, New Year's, he spent not. See, this was going to be the first Christmas that he may have spent with me.
Flores says that she was expecting her son to spend her birthday with her next Friday. Instead, she will be laying him to rest the following day. Flores' dad, Gilbert Flowers, told News 5 that his grandson last visited him in their home village 3 weeks ago, and they had a fun time at a relative's birthday party.
They may have only birth night, and I tell you, he have all of us laughing that night with the girlfriend, having a good time and things like that.
That was 3 weeks ago?
Yes, right now it's hard on me because I never expect that. Never expect it because I think that coming home, it was to be home here today. I was coming to come home today.
As the family prepares to lay him to rest, today the boat in which the young seaman spent his last hours was brought in as the police, Coast Guard, and Port Authority begin to investigate how the incident happened. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
Coming up, Punta Gorda residents not happy with alternative route. We'll have more details when we come back.
Babe, have you seen the advisory that NEMA just posted? There's going to be a storm.
Storm? It's not a storm. That's just a little rain. We'll be all right.
Thank goodness that was only a simulation. But what if it wasn't? Consider this. You've worked hard building your future, your family, your business, your home. RF&G Insurance has policy options that can protect your most valued assets so that you can focus on what matters most. Include RF&G Insurance in your hurricane prep. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
Get ready, babe. We're going on a vacation.
Finally, where are we going?
Don't worry, babe. I have we covered.
Are you sure you know where we're going?
Yes, babe. Oh, right there. See? Babe, the price me too good to be true. Me look much more better in that picture.
When life throws you a curveball, Belize Bank has your back. With our online financing, you can turn any vacation mishap into a dream getaway.
Cheers to Belize Bank for making our dream vacation a reality.
Thanks to you, babe, to turn things around.
No thanks to you, cheapo.
Ouch.
Experience the future of financing with Belize Bank Online, where you can secure funds for anything, from anywhere, at any time, all without stepping foot in a bank. Apply for a loan today and unlock a world of possibilities.
Join us on Friday, November 10th at 6:30 a.m. for a special edition of Open Your Eyes Children's Parliament Edition. We believe in empowering young voices, and this episode will feature brilliant young minds discussing important topics. Start your morning right with us as we bring the future leaders to your screens, right here on Channel 5. On Wednesday's newscast, we told you about the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing's plan to replace the Joe Taylor Bridge in Punta Gorda town. It will take 15 months and $2.3 million. The new bridge will be 25 meters long and 14 meters wide, accommodating 2 lanes of traffic and 2 lanes for pedestrians. The ministry proposed the Carib Reserve Road as an alternative route. Chief Engineer Evondale Moody says the road is 3.8 miles and will be maintained for commuters. But some town residents and those of surrounding communities say that the Carib Reserve Road is not the best alternative. Well, Mahia of the Belize Progressive Party says that the new route will cost the residents a lot of money.
The concerns are very serious, and for us down here who live in the south, we find it kind of rather insulting to come from, like, somebody that of such high caliber. First of all, they talk about a 3.2-mile diversion. That is the farthest from the truth. We consider that lying to the PG people. From Hopeville or from the Joe Taylor Creek, and if you have to go all the way around, that's not 3.2 miles. And I invite anybody who is doubting to come and check it for themselves. That's between 8 and 10 miles. I challenge people to come and check it for themselves. Now, you cannot tell me there's no place in the world where I see a diversion, you have to go around for 10 miles, 8 to 10 miles. We did a calculation, and the people of Hopeville, Forest Home Village, and Cat Landing Village, this would cost them over $3 million in extra fuel over a 15-month period. This is not fair to the people when there are alternatives. We can't say that, oh, well, we don't have the money. The money is there. The government can find the money to make a bypass that would cut that down from 8 to 10 miles to 1 to 2 miles. So if it's in the interest of the people, then we need to be fair with the people.
He says the Carib Reserve Road is the best option as an alternative route.
It's not the best option. It is an option. It's a very expensive option. There are at least 4 other alternative routes that would need a little work, yes, but it would cut it from 8 to 10 miles to 1 to 2 miles. So it's not the best option. I would like him to come down and meet with us. I mean, if he feel like they have done their consultation, then I'd like them to come and meet with us.
Chief Engineer Evondale Moody told News 5 that all stakeholders were consulted before it was decided that the Carib Reserve Road would act as the alternative route, while the ministry moves ahead with replacing the Joe Taylor Bridge. However, resident Orlando Muschamp says the people of the town and surrounding areas were not consulted.
As we all know, this municipality is led by the mayor and its councils and so forth. I mean, it's no ABC. It should have been protocol. It should have been a letter to the town council for the development of our community so that our people could have been involved and consulted. We should have had several consultations called by the mayor's office, who should be our leaders representing us, the people of Punta Gorda, and not Mr. Moody. Because for what I understand and what I read from his Facebook page last night is that we are very unreasonable and we are whatever. He has no right to say so on our behalf. Because we have our leaders in our community that should have been consulted. But because of an ineffective town council we have here in Punta Gorda, this is where we stand today fighting for the rest of people, the fisher folks, the people in tourism, the students going to school, the teachers going to school,
the doctors, the nurses that live on the other side.
I am saying now to Mr. Moody that he is very inconsiderate in putting a statement before us, knowing that we have people who are capable to defend ourselves, to, actually tell you the real conditions what we are going through in Punta Gorda.
24-year-old Coast Guard officer Shaquem Richards was unable to meet bail this afternoon after he was arraigned in Belize City on 2 counts of assaulting a police officer and 1 count of threatening words. Bail was set at $2,000 plus 1 surety of the same amount. Richards was unable to meet bail due to the time. He pleaded not guilty to all 3 charges. A video of him in a scuffle with 2 police officers at Long Island nightclub in Belize City has been seen by thousands of social media users. Richards was represented by attorney John Nemhard, who told the court that his client is being maliciously prosecuted. Outside the courtroom, Richards' mother, Agnes Thompson, said her son is being treated unfairly.
The short time I get to talk to my son, he said it's not just what the media is showing. He said he paid to get into the establishment and he was refused, and he wanted to know what's the reason why he couldn't have entered the establishment. And one of the police just bombarded him and his drag up in his shirt and they be disrespectful, not knowing what type of person they're dealing with. They didn't even realize that it was a officer or a colleague until the whole thing get out of proportion. It's been a load. It tedious, it's stressful. You know, they apparently posted a bail, and I guess like I don't know who in the authority like want to be different or just be demeaning and the pressure on my son. And they decide that they will take him to the higher court. But then what about the officer that assaulted my son? He was provoked. I am not justifying nothing, because you have to call a spade a spade. Yes, my son might be wrong to manhandle the police, but he was manhandled as well. He was hit. The video didn't show that he got hit, but the person who produced the video saw him got hit and he retaliated. And after this, all accord, the person said my son had a brief talk with the police and they apologized. So I don't know what the problem.
Richards was out on a $15,000 bail for an alleged robbery. An amendment to the piece of law that governs the issuance of firearm license is expected to be signed by Governor General Froila Salam, effectively assigning that authority to a 3-member board to be constituted by the Ministry of Home Affairs. Prior to the signing of the revision, the Commissioner of Police exercised the power to issue firearm licenses to suitable applicants. With the recent exposure of questionable issuances, government has decided to employ a new system using a panel of 3 individuals.
I'm not sure when the board is going to be put in place. That's a matter for the minister to decide. I know that there's certain infrastructure that needs to be put in place along with the board. I know that the ministry is working on that, and once that is done, then the board should take over and commence the consideration of persons who are applying for gun license.
But would you say if there was a flood of last-minute applications because of the future?
I wouldn't know if there was a flood of applications. I know I had some applications on my desk, and I disposed of them. So that whatever comes in now just goes to the board to be dealt with.
So the last day was when of approval?
amendment to the law has not yet been signed by the Governor General. I think it should be signed either today or tomorrow. And once that is done, then the Commissioner has no more authority to sign gun license approval or denial.
After the break, Brads does not intend to challenge cancellation of Bolido license. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
The Embassy of Taiwan and the Taiwan External Trade Development Council invite you to Taiwan Expo 2023 from November 15th to the 17th at Caribbean Motors in Belize City. The trade show will showcase a diverse range of Taiwanese products, including building material, food processing, and packaging machinery, electrical products, hardware, motorcycles, leisure food, and much more. Don't miss the Taiwan Expo 2023, November 15th to the 17th at Caribbean Motors in Belize City.
Desde las áreas urbanas hasta las comunidades rurales, la conexión importa. El acceso a Internet es crucial para continuar el desarrollo social y económico. Es por eso que Digi, nuestra telecomunicación nacional, continúa invirtiendo millones de dólares para expandir sus redes de telefonía móvil y fibra óptica en todo Belice. Miles de usuarios móviles y viviendas, especialmente a lo largo de las carreteras y en comunidades rurales, ahora disfrutan de los beneficios de la infraestructura resiliente de Digi. Nuestra telecomunicación nacional continúa liderando la transformación digital a través de su tecnología avanzada y compromiso a la excelencia. Con Digi Wallet, beliceños en áreas urbanas y rurales tienen acceso fácil y seguro a una amplia variedad de servicios financieros a través de sus dispositivos móviles. Y con el reciente lanzamiento de Digi TV, nuestra telecomunicación nacional se ha convertido en el único proveedor de servicios de reproducción cuádruple en Belice. Clientes ahora pueden ahorrar con nuestros paquetes DigiOne que ofrecen internet residencial, servicios móviles, teléfono residencial y servicios DigiTV convenientemente en un solo lugar. Digi permanece comprometido en brindar acceso a servicios de alta calidad, confiables y accesibles y crear oportunidades para un mejor futuro. Forme parte de la transformación y viva la conectividad como nunca antes. Porque con Digi, la conexión importa.
Welcome to Climate Week, where we unite under the banner of climate action, one goal, a shared responsibility. In a world where the climate crisis knows no borders, we're here to emphasize that saving our planet is not an individual journey, but a collective mission.
We the athletes hold the torch of hope for a sustainable future. It's our planet, our future, and our responsibility to take action now.
Businesses are committed to reduce our carbon footprint. We believe in sustainable practices to protect our development.
As educators, we represent the heart of our communities.
Together, we can make a difference by educating our nation towards a sustainable future.
The media plays a critical role in bringing to you those stories that highlight Belize's transition to renewable energy and sustainable practices.
In the journey to combat climate change, we have one goal: to preserve our planet for future generations. It's a shared responsibility that requires the collective effort of all. Let's rise above our differences, lift our ambitions, and work together. Because when we work together and unite for climate action, we can achieve the impossible. Join us in making this world a better place for everyone. Together, we can make the difference.
Please protect our environment.
Gimme 5! The biggest giveaway show of the year is back with new prizes and surprises. The fun starts at 8 p.m. on Monday, December 4th and ends on Friday, December 8th. Gimme 5 coupons are now available for 25 cents each on our Channel 5 website and at our studio on Coney Drive in Belize City. Fill out your coupons and return them to our Channel 5 office. Remember to tune in at 8 p.m. every night from December 4th to the 8th for awesome entertainment, giveaways, and lots of prizes. And don't forget, when your phone rings, don't say, "Hello." Say,
Gimme 5.
"Woo! Woo!" The government of Belize has announced the resumption of the nightly Boleto draw and the Sunday lottery draw beginning December 1st. That announcement came several months after the license that was initially granted to Brad's Gaming Group Limited was terminated. Senior Counsel Dean Barrow represents BGGL's Managing Director Kim Chi. According to Barrow, there is presently no undertaking to challenge GOB's decision to void the contract.
He's not given any instructions to go to court to challenge that cancellation. I don't want to say too much about his difficulties, but it is a fact that the government via the tax department is going after Brad's, and he has had various sparring sessions with officials of the tax department. They are in the process of auditing Brad's concerning both licenses, even the one that expired in 2020, and of course the one that was cancelled. There's also the fact that the government is pushing for the judicial review that we had started when the minister legislated for that 12.5% gross tax to be levied on Brad's. We were able to get a stay of the tax. Now the government wants the matter to be concluded. You would think, well, why? It's academic. Brad's no longer has a license. Brad's can't protect itself from any tax. But because we had gotten that stay, if we were to lose that judicial review application, if Brad's were not to win it, the government could come back and say, you need to pay for that year during which the license continued, but the tax was stayed, because it was always a quid pro quo. You will not pay the license in the meantime, but if you lose, then you will have to, as it were, make good that default with the government.
On Wednesday, government ministers and representatives of the Joint Unions negotiating team met at the House of Culture in Belize City to discuss several key issues. The meeting lasted more than 3 hours as both sides discussed inflation, price gouging, pension reform, and the reinstatement of the Cost Saving and Revenue Enhancement Committee. Following the meeting, the president of the Public Service Union, Dean Flowers, told reporters that for pension reform to occur, the government should conduct a salary review across the entire public service.
The topics remains the same. High on the list, of course, is the issue of pension reform. There was some discussion on that I cannot necessarily elaborate on at this point in time, but pretty much it was simply for government to reiterate their position and for us to charter a way forward to effect that. Really and truly, the only thing that would have changed is at what point in time would that be effected. We also touched on the reinstatement, of course, of the cost savings and revenue enhancement committees. New members were appointed to those committees. As soon as we get back and we're able to circulate the final draft of that, I have no problem sharing those with you, because I think it's very important as well for the media and for the general public to review those terms of reference and to see that, in fact, we are putting in place mechanisms to be able to assist with the recovery of the economy, as well as curtail the expenditure of government. So we touched on those and we agreed on some members for those as well.
There is also the issue of price gouging. It's a problem that's costing Belizeans a lot of money, and one that is proving challenging for authorities to address. PSU President Dean Flowers explained that the junta is suggesting training a group of 55 public officers from various regions that would play a role in addressing this problem. He says that these officers will assist the Price Control Unit within the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in issuing citations to businesses engaged in price gouging.
We touch a little bit, of course, on the ongoing struggle that Belizeans are going through where cost of living is concerned, and how we address that. As an update to our proposal to government to assist them and to assist the price controlling unit, we finally got word from the Ministry of Agriculture, who have informed us, and I believe this was late yesterday. They invited us to make submissions to them for public officers to be trained. From our end, we'll be recommending 55 public officers who will be spread across the country to assist the price control unit. It is then for the Minister of Agriculture or Cabinet to advise him in terms of the amount of officers that will actually be appointed, but we are recommending that 55 be trained in the first instance, and we will try our best to, of course, ensure that those public officers come from a wide cross-section of the country to be able to monitor these retail business who continue to exploit the Belizean people because of lack of monitoring on the part of the price control unit as a result of being understaffed, of course. From what I understand from the ministers today, the Honorable Mai did inform them that between, I believe it is August and now, a substantial amount of tickets have been issued. Those were issued by price control public officers from within the Ministry of Agriculture who work under that unit. And interestingly enough, I understand the bulk of those tickets were issued here in Belize City, primarily. I believe the minister informed us in the Lake Independence and some other area on the south side now. But I'm glad that at least the pilot project, because I understand that was primarily a pilot, and so now with our assistance, hopefully much more tickets, and like I said, hopefully the Belizean people will start see the business sector, primarily the retail sector, acting a little bit more considerate when pricing their goods.
When we return, a look at how residents of Bermudan Landing protect the howler monkeys.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benque Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
My Social Security self-service portal, Employer Transactions Unpacked. Employers and self-employed persons, an enhanced contribution payment system that manages all your employer information is here. Employers and self-employed persons will have access to view all transactions and statements, and the option to always know your owing balance using your employer number. Payments will be automated and applied to your account balance in a new way. Here are 2 scenarios to highlight how payments will be distributed. Employers with outstanding funds owed to SSB, payments will be applied to the outstanding arrears, fees, and interest, and the balance, if any, will be applied to the statements submitted. Employers without any outstanding funds owed to SSB, payments will be applied to the statements submitted. The technological enhancements you are waiting for are here. My Social Security self-service portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
The howler monkey population has thrived in Belize since the community baboon sanctuary in Bermudan Landing was established in 1985 to protect these creatures after research was done in the area and it was discovered that howler monkeys lived in trees on private lands. 12 of the villagers decided to voluntarily sign an agreement to leave their lands for the monkeys, thereby creating a sanctuary for them. Ever since then, the population of monkeys in that area has grown from 800 to around 4,500. Bermudan Landing has become the home of the howler monkeys, and tourists flock there to see the animals in their natural habitat and to learn more about them. In this edition of Belize on Real, News 5's Marian Ali takes a look at how residents of Bermudan Landing protect the howler monkeys. By engaging in livelihoods that do not encroach on the vegetation these animals need in order to thrive.
This is a common sound and sight on any given day in Bermudan Landing. The people of that community decided back in 1985 that they would sacrifice portions of their privately owned land to what is now the Community Baboon Sanctuary.
Research had started back in 1981 by Dr. Robert Horwich, who had actually been studying the monkeys in Mexico but had a hard time finding monkeys on a regular basis. And so he eventually came over to Belize, to this village, specifically Bermuda Landing, and he started to wander around on people's property, and it so happened that he ventured on my father's property, and that's how my family got involved. And so from 81 leading up to 85, they did research on collecting data on monkeys, how much monkeys we had, the health of the monkeys, and so forth. And then they really found out that we had some healthy black howler monkeys, and they wanted to do something to protect these howler monkeys. And so that's how the idea of creating a sanctuary came about.
After 12 of the landowners signed an agreement to voluntarily give up some of their lands where the monkeys occupied, it made Belize the first country in the world to have a voluntary agreement by villagers who gave up land as a sanctuary to protect howler monkeys. Conway Young is the administrative and program officer at the Community Baboon Sanctuary in Bermudan Landing. He explained that the villagers also decided to engage in livelihoods that do not infringe upon the survival of the monkeys in order to have them around for future generations. Elvis Samuels is one of those villagers who agrees that the howler monkeys ought to remain a part of the village, so protecting their natural habitat is a must. Samuels and Jonathan Madrill sell their artwork to visitors at the Community Baboon Sanctuary Museum in the village.
Most of my pieces are considered wildlife. After all, we're at the Baboon Sanctuary where nobody's going to see whales or dolphins and sharks. Yeah. So we try primarily to keep it within the confines of product from the jungle. And the thing is, our main clientele that we're desperately waiting for is people from the cruise ships. We've been down for the past 4 or 5 months. And when these people come, they're not afforded a lot of time, but they get to see our wear. In my case in particular, I try to carve right on the spot.
I paint monkeys because we want to protect the monkeys. You don't have to cut down the land and the trees. Yeah, you don't have to cut down trees. So I paint the monkeys.
Okay. Have you had close encounters with these gentle animals?
Sure.
Tell us what it looks like.
Yeah, they're nice, like a human being.
The guides, they would argue to the tourists. They will let them know, or visitors, of course, they'll let them know these guys selling here prevent them from going into the bushes and cutting down the trees. I've never done that before. I usually rely on the woodcutter to bring for me. As a matter of fact, there are people who have said to me, are you in any way depleting the rainforest? And that's not the case in my case, because even the smallest pieces that I can use, I use for firewood for my fire heart. Okay. And I try to work certain pieces that contains, and I able to stretch the wood to its entirety. Okay. And it lasts a little longer.
Since the sanctuary was established, it has been a productive few decades for the howler monkeys. The population of these creatures has multiplied from 800 to around 4,500, enough that some of them were relocated to other parts of the country where their numbers have also reportedly grown.
All the monkeys are out in the forest. So what we do is try to keep the forest connected. So keep that corridor and connectivity. Because if there's breakage in the forest, then the monkeys put themselves at threat, because then they have to come on the ground to get from point A to B. So by maintaining the forest linkage, then the monkeys can move freely. So what we do is that we do replanting of trees. We advocate for the keeping the forest intact. But not only that, we realize that in order for the sanctuary to be successful, we also have to look at the people side of it. And so we do a lot of what you call livelihood projects, where the local people can do small projects, backyard projects like fish farming, chicken rearing, pig rearing, organic grown gardens. And that way now it reduces the stress on the forest. Because if these people are not making an income from those backyard projects, more than likely some of them would have hunted or do what we call slash and burn out in the forest, which then has a negative effect on the forest. So by giving them the backyard projects where they can realize some economic benefits, it lessens the stress on the environment that the monkeys need.
But why is the sanctuary called a baboon sanctuary if we're talking about howler monkeys? Young explains that it's a tradition that dates back to the first slaves that arrived in the area.
We don't have baboons in Belize. It was the early settlers, African slaves, so our ancestors, who call them baboons, because when they knew baboons back home. So when they came to this part of the world and they saw the monkeys up in the trees, the only thing they could compare it to were baboons. So they call it baboons. So anywhere you go in the country, people say baboon first, but these are actually black howler monkeys.
Black howler monkeys are only found in 3 countries in this region: southern Mexico, eastern Guatemala, and Belize. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
Up next, fire at Belargo Enterprise in Buttonwood Bay.
Gimme 5! The biggest giveaway show of the year is back with new prizes and surprises. The fun starts at 8 p.m. on Monday, December 4th, and ends on Friday, December 8th. Gimme 5 coupons are now available for 25 cents each on our Channel 5 website and at our studio on Coney Drive in Belize City. Fill out your coupons and return them to our Channel 5 office. Remember to tune in at 8 p.m. every night from December 4th to the 8th for awesome entertainment, giveaways, and lots of prizes. And don't forget, when your phone rings, don't say, "Hello." Say,
"Gimme 5."
Woo! Woo!
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart.
It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Get ready, babe. We're going on a vacation.
Finally, where are we going?
Don't worry, babe. I have we covered.
Are you sure you know where we're going?
Yes, babe. Oh, right there, see? Babe, the price is too good to be true. Me look much more better in that picture.
When life throws you a curveball, Belize Bank has your back. With our online financing, you can turn any vacation mishap into a dream getaway.
cheers to Belize Bank for making our dream vacation a reality.
Thanks to you, be able to turn things around.
No thanks to you, cheapo.
Ouch.
Experience the future of financing with Belize Bank online, where you can secure funds for anything, from anywhere, at any time, all without stepping foot in a bank. Apply for a loan today and unlock a world of possibilities.
There was a fire this afternoon at Belargo Enterprise, a gift shop in the Buttonwood Bay area of Belize City. An employee of the business told us that she heard a popping sound and they tried to reach the Belize Electricity Limited, but only got through to an automated recording instead of someone who could assist. Margaret Usher said that by the time they finally got through for assistance, the fire had already engulfed the building.
Mr. Lago office, the printing office, I work over there. And this afternoon, 1 o'clock, when I went back to work, me and his son was in the office, and all of a sudden we hear pop, pop. And I told him, I said, this does not sound right. Let me try to get the electricity board. Called the electricity board. The number said, go to 1, go to 2, go to 3. We try to get the fire service. The fire service have to go through police and go through a whole lot of things. I don't understand why that, but that is the operating system. All right, we finally, when the house on the blaze, we finally try to get the electricity board where they come and they cut the wire from up the top there, right? But the house, the fire started in at the left side of the house, where all the batteries and the generators they are. That's where the fire started. Because afterwards we were in there and the sun said like this, that fume, I cannot smell the sun to smell the fume. He said, let's go outside. I said, all right, so let me go outside, but I don't want to go outside because I want to know what caused the popping. The electricity board didn't come. The fire service didn't come. Till long afterwards when the whole house is on the fire, then the fire didn't come.
Around what time would you say that they got here?
Honestly and truly, my brother, I don't even know. I don't even know because we just rushed out. I said about after 2 because I get there 1 o'clock, 20 past 1, and we were sitting there, so it's about after 2. The fire service never did come till about 2:33.
The National Garifuna Council held a panel discussion today in Belize City. The discussion focused on the way forward for the Garifuna people as it pertains to their land, culture, and future. The panelists included former Belize City Mayor Darrell Bradley, Matthew Martinez, and Seldra Castillo. The discussion was timely as Garifuna Settlement Day draws near. Here are a few snippets of that discussion.
If I would signal out just Miss Agnes Arana, who was a true inspiration to me as I was growing up and was one of the reasons that I chose to enter law and public life. But people who have reflected their culture, their devotion to family, to public service, and really a commitment to this country. So when you talk about the future of the Garinago and you talk about land rights, if the Garifuna people have been committed to Belize and Belize's development for 200 years, the people and the country of Belize must equally be committed to the Garifuna people.
Communal land right is a value for us. Communal land ownership is a part of our values as a people, but you're not respecting that, even though we've been given, the government has been given, these legal mandates from the international community, but we're still stuck. And that has been a part of Garifuna history. The British signed a treaty that gave us perpetual ownership of St. Vincent and then exiled us from our homeland. And now we're here with the same issue. I know that in Toledo, there is the St. Vincent block where, that's a communal land where Garifuna people can settle. And you have many non-Garifuna settling in that area. That's not a problem. But again, it goes back to the question that you asked, how do we reconcile our indigenous rights and values with national development?
The Belize Police Department has received a donation of a firearm marking machine from the Organization of American States, OAS. The equipment was purchased with funds provided by the European Union and will be used by the Ministry of Home Affairs to improve controls against the smuggling of illegal weapons. The machine will be effective in improving firearm traceability, which is key in identifying weapons used in crimes as well as in inventory management. OAS representative in Belize, Luis Coimbra, handed over the machine to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams in Belize City on Wednesday. Compa Williams says the donation will certainly help the police to determine how firearms are moved across the region.
According to the GunPolicy.org site, Belize had in 2017 almost 30,000 unregistered and illicit firearms. Though marking weapons in Belize will be an important practice that will help law enforcement to identify firearms. The unique markings can be used to trace the origin of the weapon and track the movement of the weapon from the manufacturer to the user. This information can be used to investigate crimes, prevent the illegal trade of weapons, and hold individuals accountable for their actions. Since 2020, the OAS has supported the government of Belize in improving its capacities to manage the life cycle of firearms and ammunition to avoid diversion of the illicit market. The OAS PACAM has offered training to the police, as well as the installation of software to control the inventory of police weapons and ammunition. The OAS will support the government in reviewing the Firearms Act law with detailed analysis of what the gaps are considering international standards.
While firearm can be a luxurious item for some people, particularly those who are engaged in sport hunting and firearm shooting clubs, it can also be a deadly instrument used in the commission of crime. And so, as a department, we have commenced the marking of firearms, but only for the police department. So, every firearm that the police department uses carries a mark from us. I would like to see if we can extend the marking not just to police, but to all licensed firearm or every firearm that comes into the country, that we ensure that those firearms are marked upon entering before they are sold by the gun dealer, or even after they are sold by the gun dealer. Once they come to license the firearm, then we mark the firearm and then we give it to the person. So that would be a more larger project for us to look at, but certainly there's a need for us to ensure that every firearm that comes into the country is marked. That way we'll have a greater appreciation in terms of how firearms are being moved within the region.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.